Exceptions are a primary method of handling errors in Python. So let's take a look at how we handle exceptions. We'll make a working copy of exceptions.py. Call it exceptions-working.py. We'll open our working copy. And here we have a very simple little script that reads lines of text from a file. And there's the text file there. And it prints them on the screen. Go ahead and we'll run this. And there's our lines of text. You'll notice we did this a different way this time. Instead of using end equals a blank string, I'm actually using the strip method in the string itself. And that just strips any trailing new lines from the end of the string. It's another way to do it, using the string method rather than using the print function to resolve that discrepancy. Now, if I had typed the name wrong, or if I'm referring to a file that doesn't exist, and I save this and I run it, you'll notice that we get one of Python's lovely little error messages. And it has the traceback, most recent call lasts. It's doing what it can to help you to find the error in your code. And then down at the bottom here, it says IO error, and it has a message. This IO error before the colon is actually the name of the exception. That's the exception that's being raised by the Python interpreter. And then after the colon is its error message. Now, I can trap that exception, and then I could do something different with it in my code. So here's how I do that. I use try, and I'm just going to put that line there in the try, and then I use except like this. And I can print a message. I can say, could not open the file. And then I don't want this to run, so I can put that in the else. Put the else there. And so now what I have, if I save this and run it, I'll just get this little message, could not open the file, come back tomorrow, and it doesn't try to read the lines in it. And if the typo is not there, if I save that and run it, now I get the actual lines of text. Now, this will actually catch any error at all, because I just said except like that. If I want to just catch that particular error, I say except IO error. And if I save that, well, let's go ahead and mistype this again, save that and run it, then I get that error. So it's sometimes useful to go ahead and let Python give you that error message, because that's the easy way to find out which error it's going to raise. I can also get the error message itself. I can say as E like this, and then instead of come back tomorrow, I can give it that error message like this, and then save and run. And it says, could not open the file, error 2, no such file or directory. And there we have something that's actually useful for the user. Now we can actually, if we want to, we could put all of this code up here in the try, and it doesn't hurt anything to do it that way. And then we don't need an else clause. Save that and run it. We're still getting our error message. Let's go ahead and that out, and we see that it works the same way. So in the event that you have more than one line of code in your try clause, execution will stop after the error is raised. So the error gets raised here, and then it'll go right to handling the error in the except clause. So this line won't get run when the exception happens. So if we have this misspelling in here, we save it and run it, we get the error message, and it doesn't try to use the file handle that it never got. Because as soon as that exception is raised, which happens in this open function, then the exception clause is run right away. So you'll see this pattern commonly, where a number of lines of code will be put in a try block. And then, in fact, sometimes there will be several different except clauses as well, listing out a number of different errors that could be raised. So this is how exceptions work in Python, and this is how you handle exceptions in your code using try and except.